This is the HITWAY H9 Pro. Let's take it for a spin.
Hello, Aaron here, and as you can see, I'm out on an e-scooter. Now this is the HITWAY H9 Pro edition, and this is the black and orange version. And if truth be told, this is probably the version I'd have gone for, because I quite like the black and orange. Looks pretty good. Right, let's knock it up a little bit. There we go. So it is limited to 15.5 miles per hour, as most e-bikes are in the UK. But this is as well, and I can't find anywhere to unlock it. There are videos online of how to unlock the HITWAY H9, but not the H9 Pro. So, yeah, at the moment it's stuck in 15.5 miles an hour, which is no bad thing. So obviously you don't want to be hurtling down the road 20-25 miles an hour, then all of a sudden you have to jam on your brakes. And the brakes, by the way, are actually quite decent. They are cable brakes, normal cable disc brakes. They're not hydraulics, but they do the job. They certainly stop you if you need to stop. They certainly get the job done. The foot plate that I'm stood on, I'll show you in a moment, is actually a very good size. Chris, Hades Detecting, has had a go on this. He came down and we went onto the beach and did a bit of metal detecting, and he was impressed by the size of the foot plate, because he's got a couple of e-scooters, and yeah, he quite liked this. He quite liked the fact that it's full suspension as well. The scooters he's got has got no suspension on, and it has a small foot plate. And he loves e-scooters. So yeah, he would like this. He was quite impressed with it. So yeah, the foot plate, good size foot plate. Plenty of room for your feet, plenty of room. I've got a size 10 feet, me, size 10 shoe. And I've got plenty of room on this foot plate, as well as that back bit that you can rest your foot against if you need to. You know? So we've got plenty of room here. This is my first initial run out on the scooter, and it's quite nice, it's quite pleasant. There's plenty of room for your feet. The angle of the handlebars, the way that it's tilting back, and the height of the handlebars. For me, I'm 5'10". This is quite nice, it's pleasant, it's comfortable. I like it. So yeah, at the moment, this is good. This is good for me. It's ideal. Now, obviously, there are lots of laws surrounding e-bikes and e-scooters at the moment. And obviously with e-bikes, it's not allowed to have a throttle, and it's not allowed to go over 15.5 miles an hour. But with scooters, you're not allowed to do any of that. You're just not allowed to have a scooter and ride it in a public place. You're just not allowed. There are schemes, government schemes in the UK, where you can hire out a scooter, take it out on the roads and everything else. But if it's a privately owned scooter, you can't, unless you have insurance. But then, how do you insure this? There are no insurance companies in the UK, to my knowledge, at the point of making this video, that are currently offering any sort of insurance for e-scooters. There's just none. You cannot get insurance for an e-scooter privately owned in the UK. So you have to take part. You have to take part in these trial schemes and hire a scooter from one of these bigger companies like Lime and some of the others. Or you can have a privately owned scooter, but you have to ride it on private land with the landowner's permission. So what do you do? There are thousands of privately owned scooters in circulation at the moment. Thousands. Where are they all being ridden if you're not allowed to ride them on the roads? Now, I think obviously there should be laws for e-scooters. Yes, their speed should be limited. Yes, there should be an age limit for e-scooters. But to ban them completely when they are a decent form of travel, transport, for people who may otherwise struggle to get to and from work because they can't afford a car or a motorbike or anything of that nature. So they go for an e-scooter or an e-bike. So we need to look at the alternatives. That's enough for me waffling about laws and things. What do I think of the scooter? So, I've only been on it a little while. I've only covered a short distance. But so far, this is quite good. It's full suspension, so the bumps aren't hitting that hard. Yeah? Look at this, I'm going uphill here. This is quite an incline, and this has just took me to the top of that quite easily. Quite easily. I might actually do a hill climb with it later on. I've got a perfect place I can take it. And it's quite a hill, and if it gets up and over it, I'll be very impressed. So, while I ride around for a little bit, let's go to VoiceOver Aaron with a few specs about the scooter and also a few do's and don'ts about this particular scooter. Take it away. Okay, let's run down some of the specs of this scooter. It can carry a maximum load of 120 kilograms. The rated power of the motor is 500 watts. The mileage you can get, they say, is between 70 to 110 kilometers. I guess that would depend on what sort of mode you're scooting along in. Its waterproof level is IP54. So that is not very high at all. You do not want to be going through deep puddles in this or leaving it out in the rain. Definitely not. The battery is 15.6 amp hours to 27 amp hours. Not sure what that's all about. The maximum peak power is 800 watts. It has a multifunctional LCD display. The frame is made of aluminium alloy. The tyres are 10-inch tubeless tyres. The scooter weighs around 24 kilograms. Its top speed is 25 kilometers per hour or 15.5 miles per hour. And you can change the setting from kilometers to miles per hour in the app. The app is available on Android and iOS. It has front and rear double shock absorbers, and the charge time is 6 to 8 hours. Right, okay. Let's have a quick look at the unboxing and see how easy it was to put together. Okay, so in the box we have got some safety warnings. Got to stay safe out there. And also a booklet all about the app and some extra features It also came with a charger and a UK plug, a user manual, and a set of tools. So looking at it, it's looking good. We got punctureless tyres there, solid, so that's good. Won't have to worry about having punctures. It looks like the only thing you have to really put on is the headlight, which attaches at the front there, and possibly the computer onto the handlebars. Apart from that, it all seems pre-built. So it does actually already have nuts or bolts underneath for the computer, and there it is, all complete, all put together, and it took me around, I'd say, half an hour to put it together. Right, so let's turn it on. There is no key needed for this. Look at that. Fantastic. Let's peel this off. And there we go. So, we have indicators. And that noise is brilliant, because some e-bikes, when you're using their indicator, there is no noise and you accidentally leave the indicator on, which is no good for the motorists around you. And the other side. Brilliant. Turn that off. And there's also an indicator on here. There you go. That's that way, and that way, and then off. Simple, easy. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the modes. You've got push, eco mode. This will use up next to no battery, and it's all about pushing with your feet. And I believe it frees up the motor as well, so it's easier to move. You've also got, with the plus and the minus, assist 1, 2, standard, and assist 3, which is turbo. You've also got a thumb throttle, just there off to one side. You've also got lights, got a headlight down here. There we go, look at that, that's quite bright. You've also got a light at the back, which blinks, which most cycling lights do. And you pull the brake on, it stays. You've also got these, which I'm not too sure about, if I'm honest. I'm not too sure about them. I'm hoping in the app that there is an option where you can turn those off. Let's just turn those lights off. So you can get this scooter on Amazon. Apparently it's quite a good seller on Amazon. You can also get it on the HITWAY website. There'll be links for both down below if you want to head over. If you do pick it up from the HITWAY website, by the way, you can get 30% off by using code SC30. Yeah, that'll get you 30% off. That's not bad, is it? Hey? I must admit, it is a great little scooter. It's very nippy, but I'll tell you what, looking down here at the speedo, now the speedo says 15.5, okay, miles per hour, but it doesn't feel it. It doesn't feel like 15.5. It really doesn't. When I'm on my e-bike and you know, I'm pedaling along and we're hitting 15.5 miles an hour, then you know it kind of feels it. But I don't know, it's just been stood up on this platform. So the speed feels good. Sometimes manufacturers in the settings accidentally put the wrong wheel size, which means the computer, the display, doesn't go to the true speed. So sometimes it may go a little bit slower than it should because of the wheel size. But it feels nice, it feels stable. But yeah, look, 50.5. So you've got 3 speeds on this. as I alluded to earlier, you've got 0 or down at the bottom and it says P, and that P actually stands for pedestrian. That is when you're pushing it or walking or possibly even pushing it with your feet, you know, but that's pedestrian. Then you've got speed level 1, speed level 2 and speed level 3. So like 2 comes up as standard, I believe, and 3 comes up as turbo. But it doesn't feel like turbo, you know, it doesn't feel that fast. It feels okay. You don't think at any point, oof, this is a bit nippy, but it's not. It feels fine. It feels great. It's nice and smooth. And I'll tell you what, this, for weekenders, I mean, I know I've spoken about taking an e-bike out on a weekender across fields, but this will easily fit in your boot with your camping gear and all your other stuff, and then you take it out, you find out which are the best fields, and you take off, don't you? You know, I saw them at Detectable, people on scooters, taking off, heading up to the fields, leaving the rest of us behind, wandering about. So this bridge is the hill climb we're going to do, and as you can see, I hope you can see, it is fairly steep. So let's go for it. Let's see if we can get up this, over the bridge. Let's see if this motor can do it. You know, and I'm a hefty chap. You know, I'm a big fan of pies and cakes. Yay cakes. You know, I'm 15.5 stone. And if this scooter can get me up and over this bridge, well then it's certainly got a bit of oomph in its little motors. But it's doing it. It's doing it. In fact, we have done it. We are now at the top of the bridge. We are at the summit, as it were. And we've made it. Look at that. We have only gone and done it. And we did that, level 3. And yeah, it's fine. I mean, looking at the battery, so we dropped a little bit of battery, okay, lost a little bit of power there, but you would if you're going to be running it in full speed the whole time. You would expect to lose a bit of battery power. But it's done it, up and over, no issues at all. So this e-scooter, I know a lot of people that have e-scooters and they ride them around, and even though, you know, the government says you can't and all the rest of it, I've seen a lot of kids riding around in this town. Are they riding them sensibly? I don't know. I know I am. I'm even wearing a helmet, as you saw from the videos. I could easily use something like this to get me to and from work. Easy. And it would be perfect, you know? It's like Chris, Hades Detecting. He's got a couple of e-scooters, and he rides them, he uses them for work and getting to and from the beach. Same as I have in the past. So, as long as you're riding them sensibly, and you're not being an idiot, I genuinely don't see what the problem is, you know? Now, there's been a lot of talk in the news about e-scooters and e-scooter fires. You know, we can't ignore that because it is a problem. However, if you get your e-scooter from a reputable company that has the certificates and has done all the testing and can prove that their scooter is amongst, and their batteries are amongst some of the safest, then surely that's a bonus. And these guys have. HITWAY have. They've got certificates. The products have been tested. And obviously e-scooter fires can be avoided if you only charge your e-scooter with the charger provided. Don't go buying a fast charger. Lithium-ion batteries do not like fast charging. They prefer a trickle charge. They don't like a fast charge. Don't get your scooter wet. If you can avoid it, don't take it out in the rain. Don't get it wet. You get water ingress in there in that battery, things start to rust, start to fall apart. That's when you have issues. That's when you start to get a problem. So try your best to keep it dry. And obviously don't damage it or pierce it. Get a good quality scooter that's been tested. Use the charger that comes with it. Don't get it wet, don't pierce it, don't damage it. And it should last you. Chris, Hades Detecting, has got a couple, like I keep saying. He's ridden his, he's easily racked up 1,000 miles on his scooter. He's had it a few years. Sure, the battery might not last as long as it used to. It may have depleted a little over time. But he's had no issues with it. It's still fine. And as long as you look after it, your scooter and your battery and all the rest, you shouldn't have any issues. It's a good ride, it's a good smooth ride. Nice chunky grips for you to hold on to. It folds down nicely. And in fact, we'll do a video of that in just a second. So first of all, twist the handlebars and lower those. Then you pull the pin and you lift the lever all the way to the bottom, and you're good to go. So as I said earlier, if you are looking at getting a scooter, an e-scooter, if you go to the HITWAY website and use code SC30, you get 30% off. That's all right, isn't it? So final closing thoughts. What do I think about this scooter? It is very comfy. I've really enjoyed using this. It is a great little scooter. It folds up. It's got a decent sized foot plate. In fact, a very good sized foot plate. We've got a nice clear display. Easy to read. Good sized buttons. Got a nice thumb throttle. And if you position it right, it's nice and comfy. It's got punchless tyres. It's got disc brakes. It's got that nice powerful little motor on the back wheel. And it folds up really small. It's got full suspension. Does 15.5 miles an hour. It is a great little scooter. Cheers, thank you. So would I recommend this? It's an easy yes. Easy yes. Mid-range on the price. So check it out. Have a look. Ta-da.